the early bird rises early to catch the worm, then we are certainly not going to go hungry this morning. It's 5:20 a.m. It's the break of day, and I'm in a small village of Raderach, and I'm standing on 38 meters of household rubbish. But this is more than just a modern rubbish tip. This is the site of the V2 rocket manufacturing facility, and the V2 rocket, of course, was the first human object in space. Now, it's still too dark to film properly, and while I catch my breath, let me explain to you why this place is so significant historically. The V2 rocket, or the Vergeltungswaffe, was something that Hitler called a Wunderwaffe, or a amazing weapon, a weapon of wonder, so to speak, Wunderwaffe. And it was also known in scientific circles in Germany as Aggregat 4. And a V2 missile was designed to hit targets very, very far away. So the Germans built the V2 rocket such that it could be launched from mainland Germany and hit cities such as London, Paris, and potentially even North America. This has to be one of the most dramatic sights and relics of World War II history. We've got moss-laden walls, we have wrought iron bits and pieces sticking out of them, we have cracks in the foundations, moss covering this relic from all sides. We have oak trees and elm trees twisting through the wreckage. It's quite a dramatic place. Unlike its earlier cousin, the V1, which could be shot down by a Spitfire, the V2 travelled 4 times the speed of sound. It was just incredibly fast. It was so fast you couldn't shoot it down. So once the Germans were able to launch a V2 rocket, it usually hit its target. The very first successful launch of a V2 ballistic missile was on the 3rd of October 1942 from Peenemünde, which is in the northern parts of Germany. And the missile was launched and managed to reach a height of some 192 kilometers. It was just extraordinary. Hitler's Wunderweapons, whilst impressive, came far too late, and the very first V2 successfully used as a weapon wasn't until the 8th of September in 1944 when it hit Paris. Well, this is one of the roads built by the National Socialists to the V2 rocket manufacturing facility, and I guess one could describe it as some form of Plattenbau, and it's very similar to the Autobahns which were built in the 1930s. Well, this is one of the old entranceways to the old V2 rocket manufacturing facility, and well, clearly over the years not much has happened here, and in fact this is one of the roadways to the personnel quarters and washrooms, with about 1.8 meters of growth to contend with. Yes, my favorite, these are called Brennnessel, or plants that burn. So I suggest some caution is applied here from the spirit of goodwill and archaeology, contending with the Brennnessel and Bremsen. as well as the mosquitoes. It's just all part of the fun. Well, there really isn't that much left to see here. Unfortunately, most of these buildings have been destroyed. Just to the right of me is one of the remaining foundation walls and remnants of the former personnel quarters, which would have included bedrooms, so sleeping quarters, washrooms, toilets, things of that nature. And from here, the people that were employed at the V2 rocket facility, be it scientists, be it workmen, workwomen in fact, would then meander themselves down this valley through to the workshops down below. Behind me is the township of Raderach or Oberraderach. It has a population of about 400. And just across the road, this sort of swampy, woody area is where the V2 rocket manufacturing facility is. Now, just across this portion of the road here is a whole area which has since been entirely demolished, and this is the KZ-Lager, or where prisoners were housed and they were required to forcibly work in this area. So let's have a look. And we're very fortunate that despite the political situation, areas such as this still remain. Because as a student of archaeology and history, we know that this area is the birthplace of rocket technology. And because of the V2 rocket, the Vergeltungswaffe, humanity was able to bring man to space and of course eventually to the moon. With this technology, we've also been able to have passenger airline technology such that I can fly from Adelaide, South Australia to München in Germany in a matter of a day. Yes, there were catastrophic elements to this technology, and over 3,000 V2 rockets were fired and landed during World War II, causing significant losses, particularly on the Allied side. However, what must be remembered is that this, like any places of history, comes both with the horrible as well as with the good aspects of human development.